Hey everybody and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the death of Seattle singer Shawn Smith, who passed away at the age of 53 earlier this week, allegedly from complications from diabetes. What I'm going to be discussing in this video is the possibility that this man may have been murdered. Singers, musicians, actors, celebrities all appear to be dying by a code involving letters and numbers. On the screen, you're looking at our 4 base ciphers in what we call the language of Gematria, or the practice of coding numbers into words. This language is used in accordance with dates on the calendar, both date numerologies and date durations. And when you start paying attention to this code, you understand that something very strange is going on in this world. Gematria is very simple. We start with the alphabetic order, where each letter is numbered 1 through 26 relative to its position in the alphabet. The reduction methods, also called Pythagorean gematria, use the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit prior to adding it to the equation. The first thing that's important to understand about this death is that Shawn Smith is from the city of Seattle, where his band that's named Brad is based out of. Here you see he was born in Spokane. His musical origin is from Seattle. Another musician who died in Seattle on the date April 5th is Kurt Cobain. You may have heard of this man. He was the lead singer of popular punk rock group Nirvana, one of the most influential rock bands of the generation. His suspicious death occurred on April 5th in 1994. Shawn Smith, also a Seattle singer, died on April 5th in 2019. The deaths of these two men were separated by exactly 25 years. Shawn Smith is the lead singer of a band named Brad, as he's most well known for. Using the alphabetic order, B the second letter, R the 18th, A the first, and D the fourth. You add this up, you get the number 25. Furthermore, the name Shawn equals 25 with the alphabetic order reversed, where Z is 1 and A is 26, and then reduced. Shawn equals 25 and 20, just like the word death. 25 and 20. Using the alphabetic order, the name Shawn equals 65, and we're being told that he died due to his diabetes, which equals 65, also in ordinal. Now, the date April 5th this year is actually a date I had pegged for a potential eclipse sacrifice. So again, these riddles have multiple layers. The most obvious one is how this is connected to the death of Kurt Cobain. But why wasn't there a sacrifice on the 24th anniversary, or the 23rd anniversary, or the 22nd? Why just the 25th? It's because of how this date lines up with total solar eclipses. In the New Testament, Jesus was crucified during an event which appears to be a solar eclipse. Other historians believe it to be a lunar eclipse, but either way, Jesus, who was crucified at the age of 33, most popularly, died during an eclipse, which sums to 33. And in the alphabetic order, crucifixion of Jesus Christ equals 303. Now, in Hebrew Gematria, which I do have on the calculator, this language is actually the base of much of our Gematria here in English. The phrase that directly translates to total eclipse, which you must type full eclipse in Google Translate to get, this phrase equals 227 in Hebrew Gematria. This is a number that's closely associated with the circle. If you divide 22 by 7 on a calculator, you get 3.14, the first 3 digits of pi. And using the alphabetic order, 22 divided by 7 equals 314. Again, gematria is geometry within the language. Geometry sums to 108 in both the alphabetic and reverse alphabetic orders. This year, April 5th was 1 year and 227 days after the most recent total solar eclipse. Again, I'm very consistent in this work, and I only measure to total solar eclipses. Unless I've already measured to total solar eclipses, then we might also look at lunar eclipses. So not only was it 227 days after the anniversary of the last eclipse, but it's also 2 months and 27 days before the next total solar eclipse, which occurs on July 2nd, 2019. Again, 227, the Hebrew value of total eclipse. This number is significant. We call this the Eclipse crucifixion code, by which these celebrities are dying, which somehow sums to 227 in ordinal. This is the same as Jesus' crucifixion in the reverse method, 227. So the riddle is clear. Jesus, the Son of God, crucified during a solar eclipse in which the sun is being covered up. The word sun begins with the letter S, the 19th letter. The moon has something called a metonic cycle, which lasts 19 years, and we often get solar eclipses 19 years apart after another solar eclipse. Solar eclipse equals 190 in the reverse order. And look at the alliteration that the Seattle Times used here. Soulful Seattle singer Shawn Smith. 5 S's in a row. This is intentional. Seattle, in reduction, sums to 19. And the date on which this man died, 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9, here in the year 19, this sums to 19. On the right side of your screen, here we see Seattle's Wikipedia page. And on this page, we can learn that Seattle was incorporated on the date December 2nd, 1869. So this is why Seattle was chosen on this particular date this year. Measuring to Seattle's next anniversary from the death of Shawn Smith gives us 241 days. 241 is a prime number. See how it's the 53rd prime number? Shawn Smith has passed away at the age of 53. Now, 53 is also a prime number. Check it out. 53, the 16th prime number. Well, if you measure from his last birthday, we find that Shawn Smith died a span of exactly 160 days after his 53rd birthday. The band that he sings for, Brad, equals 16 in reduction. But the number 53 is significant for another reason. This is the value of the phrase solar eclipse. Prior to a total solar eclipse, the moon and sun create a vesica Piscis, which sums to 53 and 134, just like solar eclipse, 53 and 134. And this is the death of singer Shawn Smith, whose name sums to 134, just like solar eclipse and vesica Piscis. Furthermore, in reduction, Shawn Smith equals 44. 44 is the reverse reduction value of Seattle. 44. And if you measure from Seattle's most recent anniversary to the death of Shawn Smith, you get a span of 4 months and 4 days. The word kill in the alphabetic order equals 44. And just how perfect is the name Smith for an eclipse sacrifice? The name Smith, using the alphabetic order, equals 69. This is the same as the word eclipse, summing to 69. An eclipse is an intersection of the two largest circles in the sky. Circles equals 69. The 69th prime number is 347. That's the Hebrew value of sacrifice. How appropriate. Sacrifices aligned with solar eclipses. Now, with the S exception, the name Smith equals 33. Remember, this is the reduction value of both eclipse and circles. 33, the age at which Jesus was when he died. In Jewish gematria, 33 sums to 895, which is the same value as ritual human sacrifice. The word sacrifice on its own equals 206. Shawn Smith was born on October 28th. This means that if you measure to his next birthday after he died, it was exactly 206 days. Using the alphabetic order, singer Shawn Smith equals 206. Notice how his name sums to 226 in reverse. This is the English value of sacrifice. Although he died on the 5th of April, it didn't make national news until April 6th. April 6th is written 4/6. In reduction, sacrifice equals 46. Sacrifice also sums to 55 with the S exception and 62 in the reverse reduction method. Shawn Smith equals 55 reverse and 62 with the S exception. Shawn Smith was born October 28, 1965. This is a date with primary full numerology of 122. Seattle sits on the 122nd meridian west. Also notice how it sits on the 47th parallel. The word killing has gematria of 47. So does the phrase total eclipse, which this ritual is no doubt in relation to. A total eclipse, the most significant moment in time. Time equals 47. The Space Needle, the building for which Seattle is most famous for, has a rotating restaurant on the top that completes one revolution every 47 minutes. The word restaurant with the S exception equals 47. And I didn't even know this before I typed it in. I just had a feeling restaurant was 47. This ritual also ties into the numerology of the mayor of Seattle, lesbian Jenny Durkin. Jenny Durkin assumed office on November 28th of 2017. This means that on the date of the death of singer Shawn Smith, she had been in office for 70 weeks and 3 days. Using the alphabetic order, sacrifice equals 73. If you include the end date, it's 70 weeks and 4 days, and 704 is the value of total solar eclipse in Jewish gematria. I want to point out the gematria of the headline also was definitely coded. This headline came from, I believe it was a website called The Consequence of Sound. And no matter how you calculate the number in the headline, whether you add 5 plus 3 or add 53 or if you ignore it altogether, if we ignore the 53, we get a single reduction value of 290. I'm sorry, that's with the 53 added. 290 is the reverse value of eclipse sacrifice. If you instead take the 53 and add 5 plus 3, you get 209 in reduction, which again represents the number 29. He was the singer of a band named Brad, which equals 29. In Satanic Gematria, with number calculation ignored, this headline also sums to 2090. All part of the Eclipse sacrifice code that we're seeing playing out basically on a weekly basis, if not even more frequently. And what are the odds, And granted, I did not make a post before this date saying this would happen, but the numbers are obvious once you look back on it. So, yeah. Clearly, there's a lot more questions that this language of numerology raises than it seems to answer. Are these men really dying because of natural death? Oh, look at that, 29 viewers. Or are they being sacrificed by a code? Thanks to Zach for jumping in. He also mentioned that the 206 I mentioned earlier, the word sacrifice equals 206. Shawn Smith died exactly 206 days before his birthday. What I did not mention is that 206 is the Seattle area code. So I did check Zach's blog to see if he did work on this death before it, and I didn't see a post on it, so I did miss the 206 there. And yeah, Seattle had a big role in the opening of the Major League Baseball season. You may remember they opened the season in Japan, and right after the second game, Ichiro retired. And here we are in the date written 5/4. Baseball equals 54. Major League 45. So this is definitely all connected to Major League Baseball as well. All right, so thanks again to everybody who jumped in. Whether you're watching live or archived, please press that like, share, subscribe button. Again, YouTube's not helping me spread this work, so we got to do it on our own. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. God bless. Adios.